Hello, beautiful manifestors. It is Olivia Grace, and I'm back with another video to try and get this lighting together. Let me see here. Okay, that's a bit better. All right, hello guys. It is Olivia Grace. I'm back with another video. We're going to be talking about exiting the 3D validation loop that is keeping you stuck. I am getting ready for the Godstate activation that is happening in about 30 minutes. So I'm just going to be doing my makeup and just talking with you guys for a bit. So yeah, if you're new here, I am Olivia Grace. This is the Master Manifestors channel. Here I talk about love, assumption, manifestation, all that good stuff. If you're into those topics, you would love to be here and I would love to have you here. So yeah, I love you guys. I am, hello to everybody. Let me just focus, y'all already know, trying to focus on doing my makeup and talking and reading the comments. Let me focus on delivering the message. And yeah, so, all right, but what's up? And I love you guys. So let's talk about this validation loop that keeps you stuck. Okay. The validation loop that keeps you stuck is that you keep looking at what is and deducting from that who you are, what's possible, what's real, what's now. Okay. So when you understand how powerless 3D is, and honestly, the reason why you have trouble understanding how powerless 3D is because you have not accepted how powerful you are. So you keep trying to assert yourself over 3D from the state, stance, assumption, identity that you are a lowly human, that you are broken, that you're incomplete, that you're not good at this, that you're yada, 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 And it's okay that, we feel these things, right? It's part of the little game that we as God decided to play with ourselves. We thought, oh yeah, I mean, being all powerful is fun, but what if I forgot? What if I could remember? Honestly, you know what it makes, this just came to me. For those of you who are with a partner, like married with somebody that you love, it's like getting the opportunity to fall in love again. It's getting the opportunity to fall in love again. And you're in love, right? You're in love, it's amazing. But what if you could meet this person for the first time and feel butterflies for the first time and have your first kiss for the first time and all of these things, right? And this is what we are doing as gods. This is what we're doing as gods is, oh, I'm going to forget my power to remember it again, to feel the moment. Like all of us here, no doubtedly, if you're here, you've had a shift before. And when you have that shift, when things click for you, when the thing that didn't make sense for months, maybe even years, makes sense, when you wake up and the manifestation is there, when you feel different, when you're able to walk into a situation and feel confident or whatever it is, that feeling, that wow, oh my gosh, accomplishment, fulfillment. It's the whole thing that we're here doing, okay? So, but if you're here, all right, if you are here on this channel, okay, you already know who you are. I wouldn't say I don't believe that people come here when they don't know who they are yet. You feel me? By the time you make it here, you're already been playing with the idea that, man, I'm God in my reality, I'm the operant power, all these things, but you're only accepting it to a point. And the reason why is because you're in this validation loop. You're in this validation loop of, well, what does 3D tell me that I am? And this is how we were raised, okay? It's how we were raised. It's how we go through life. It's how everybody else goes through life, right? But it is not the way of a God. It is not the way of a being who knows that they are multidimensional. And to be honest, y'all, I was about to cuss. I'm like, my mom is still here, but I got to say it how I got to say it. You will transcend 3D when it stops meaning shit to you. This is when I transcended 3D. When it stopped meaning shit to me. When I stopped pausing my decision, my assumption, whatever it is I'm doing to decide something new for myself and looking at 3D and saying, right, 3D? Or, well, this person's not doing what I said. Okay. Ooh, y'all. I think I got a little bit of an attitude. I don't I don't want to be aggressive, but I was about to go into a rampage on y'all, and I don't want to do that, but stop allowing your reality to make you a little bitch, okay? Stop balling up in the corner. Stop accepting limitation. Stop accepting anything that's not what you decided. And really, honestly, y'all, you keep trying to do your work in 3D. You keep trying to do your work in 3D. You need to do your work inside. You keep trying to rearrange 3D to make you feel powerful. You need to rearrange your inside to know power, okay? You need to rearrange your inside. When you would give attention to who you're being, if you stop for a day, a week, a month, forever, the rest of your freaking life, looking at 3D to say, how am I doing? What am I getting? What's happening for me? And you went only to the control center, to the center of consciousness, you would exit that loop. Because 3D is showing you who you have been believing that you are. Who you've been believing that you are. So when you continue to see that being pushed out and continue to say, yep, that's me, and then it continues to push out, and then you're like, yep, that's me, and then it continues, and you're like, oh, nothing's changing. Because you're used to having something or someone to tell you who you are. And this is the day that that stops. Understand, like, I get it, okay? I get it, because like I said, 3D seems very powerful. It seems very intimidating. It seems very, supreme to you, but that's because you don't know who you are. That's it. If you knew who you were, not as a concept, but really believe that, really walked the walk instead of talking the talk. If you really believe that, you would say to the mountain, move from here to there, and it would, and nothing would be impossible to you, okay? So as long as you are looking at the limited reality that you created from a limited identity and continuing to decide that, yep, that's me, then you're going to continue to be in that reality. It's important for you to know, you guys, when it comes to 3D, okay? When it comes to 3D, it's important for you to know that 3D is proving you right, okay? So even when you say something like, I'm stuck, 3D has to prove that right. When you say 3D isn't moving, 3D has to prove you right. When you say, well, some things are harder than other things, 3D has to prove you right. And what you'll notice, you guys, when you really start noticing, you'll notice that your power never leaves you. You're always directing your power. And you can continue to direct your power on things you don't want, to direct your power on limitation, to direct your power on whatever. You can continue to use that powerful creative energy to say, I'm stuck. Things aren't working for me. This is hard. Ooh, let's take that one. Okay. This is hard. Right? Reality Goddard, you're hilarious. I'm sorry, let me focus. This is hard, right? This is hard. It's not working for me. Okay. So then now you're abracadabraing yourself into a reality where it's hard instantaneously. And just like that, you could say it's easy. All right. It's actually easy. And really like sit in these assumptions, you guys, right? Hear me when I say to make your affirmation a proclamation. It's not about becoming anything. It's about who you're deciding you are now. It's not about anything that you're doing. It's about who you're deciding you are now. Okay. A lot of times the things that you're doing are evident in who you think that you are. Because if you're like, well, I'm doing all of the things and I'm doing the techniques and I'm da 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 da, and I'm doing it all day long and it's not working, right? But who do you think about this, you guys? On a scale of 1 to powerful, who do you think is doing techniques all day long to get one thing? On a scale of 1 to powerful. I ain't saying it, you saying it. I asked the question. You know what I mean? It's because you really believe that something outside of you is going to prove to you and tell you like, hey, all of this is not delusion. It's not crazy. It's real. The law of assumption is real and you're really God and you can really do it. Look, you're levitating. Look, your SP sent you a weak ass text. Look how powerful you are. You know what I mean? Instead of just claiming the shit. And really, honestly, y'all, when you understand that now is the only time for you to claim it. Now is the only time for you to claim it. There's no tomorrow for you to claim it. There's no little finish line for you to claim it. A good way to think about this, you guys, is like being an adult, right? If you can remember as a kid, like I'm gonna speak from my perspective as a kid, I used to look at adults like, wow, you know, there is a threshold that they walk through where they become an adult and everything makes sense to them. And yeah, you know, they grow up, they're mature, right? Then I got older and I started working with adults as a young woman. And I saw that these 50-year-old people had the minds of middle schoolers. I saw that time doesn't actually mean that you mature. I saw that there's not a threshold of adulthood that you walk through that makes you mature and smart and know everything, right? Those of you who are parents, right? We look at our parents like, wow, they have a, you know, they had something that happened that made them parents, that made them know exactly what to do with a baby. Nope. They just got handed this living being, was like, all right, sayonara, keep it alive. There's no anything outside of you that's going to prove it. Even the thing, right? Even being an adult with a job and bills and all those other kind of things doesn't make you decide that you're an adult if you still decide and be as a child, right? Even, you know, having a kid, there's plenty of people who have kids who are not parents still. Don't know how to be parents, ain't interested in being parents. All right. So the thing outside of you doesn't give you anything. It's an identity that you step into now. It's not a threshold that you're going to cross. It's not a destination that you're going to get to. It's actually, who are you being now? Who are you being now? I am going to talk a little bit of shit because I see some people in my comments that have been in my comments. And this is what I don't get, because I am explaining, when I'm explaining this stuff, I'm explaining it like 3rd grade. Okay. So there's people that be in my comments that has been on this channel for years, and still asking the redundant ass question of, well, but can I do this? Can I do that? I'm like, are you actually listening to anything that I'm saying? Or are you just sitting there watching me on mute? You know what I mean? And we all fall into that at some time, but be aware, you guys. Like, are you listening to me? Is it going in one ear and out the other? And then you click off the live and say, whew, wow, that was powerful. Well, what's going on in 3D? Not what I want still. Yep. Guess I can't have it. Oh, yeah. I have literally, you guys, I've made videos on TikTok, like guided sat scenes that people have used to manifest things, manifest homes. People will come and say, oh my God, this thing that I literally laid out step by step by step exactly what to do. They're like, oh my God, this worked for me. People will go under the comment and say, what did you do? What did you, what did they do? I just told you what to do. Like, what? All right. All right. You got to see. There's nobody keeping you in limitation. Okay? Nobody's keeping you there. You're keeping me there. Okay? And I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. I'm not kidding. Okay? The answer will be right in front of you. And you're so identified as the person who says, I don't have it, that you literally can't see it right in front of you. You're so identified, just like dude, right? That came on. Well, what about the starving children? All right, sir. If you actually cared about starving children, you would find a way to boss up your life and go help them. That's what I did. I didn't sit here and say, oh, golly, they're starving children. Nope. I put myself in a position where I can actually help children that need help. And you know how you do that? By focusing on yourself, not by looking for reasons to be a victim. Abraham Hicks talks about stop using things and people as your excuse not to feel good, right? Stop using 3D as your excuse to feel powerless. Stop using anything as your excuse to feel powerless, to identify as someone who can't do or can't have or any of that bullshit. Anything that you are convincing yourself that is outside of your power is simply that. You convincing yourself it's outside of your power. Let me know, y'all. Let me know when the clouds parted and God was like, yo, you down there, you can't have that. You haven't affirmed enough. You're at 9,999 and I need you at 10. When? No, it was you having the conversation in your mind. Okay? So let this be the last day that you pick up limitation. All right? And even when we do, because this is part of this weird little journey we're on, of knowing ourselves as God, even when you pick it back up, okay? Realize that that's the only reason I'm in this situation. It's not because the situation is more powerful than me. It's because I keep believing that. It's not because my subconscious is not programmed. It's because I keep saying that and believing that. Okay? That's why. It's your assignment. You are assigning things in 3D above you. So, when you stop validating yourself off of 3D, off of anybody, anything, okay? Then you get to make a new choice in the now. Instead of saying, wow, well, when my reality looks better, then I can make a better choice. Actually, your reality can look like shit and you can make a new choice in the now. All right? You can make a new choice in the now when you know and accept that you're actually that free. Okay? When you know and accept, oh, wow, I'm free enough right now, no matter what it looks like, right? No matter what it looks like, I'm free enough to choose. This is why I love Neville's story of getting out of the army. What can you do about that? How can you get out of the army when you were drafted in? It's not like you signed up. You were drafted in because they're short on men. How are you going to get honorably discharged? None of that was Neville's concern. It wasn't his concern. His concern was my consciousness is my freedom, period. And if that's so, then where am I? At home with my kid and my wife? He didn't say, well, hopefully and maybe, and I don't know, and let's test this out. Let me test this. If you're here, you're past testing things. You're past that. I don't really have a lot of beginners on my channel, bruh. Okay? Not real beginners. Y'all already know what I'm talking about. So act like it, be like it, walk like it, talk like it, manifest like it. You feel me? Start waiting on something outside of you to shift. And then you will be a master shifter. In fact, you're already a master shifter. You're already a master shifter. This is the thing, y'all. You are a master. You are true to this, not new to this. Okay? You are eternal. All right? You galactified the galaxies and you got so bored in your power that you were like, let me pretend. Let's pretend. Right? Let's pretend like I'm not powerful because I'm so powerful. I'm bored. I'm going to pretend I'm not powerful. I'm going to pretend like I don't know what I'm doing. Understand that everything that you're like, I don't know, and I'm confused, and I don't really get it, and I don't know if I'm doing this right, and I don't know how to do this. You're pretending. Stop pretending. Okay? Stop pretending. Accept it in the now. Stop waiting on another moment. Stop waiting on 3D to shift. When you stop waiting on 3D to shift, you will shift. I don't look at 3D to tell me what's possible, y'all. Even like something that I've been saying, or something I say, is even think about manifestation itself, okay? Before you knew about manifestation, there was no part of you that believed that my mind influences reality. Thank you, beauty. There was no part of you that believed that my mind influences reality, and it was still true. It was actually happening. It was still going on. But this is a whole different paradigm than the regular paradigm of thinking, right? And had you been one of those people, like whoever on the live today or Ian the other day, that's like, well, this isn't true because yada, 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 and whatever, and stayed in that, reality would have continued to prove that you're powerless because you as your powerful self insisted on that. Why do you, like, for real, why do you insist on limitation? Why? When someone says, hey, you can have anything you want, why do you pull out your long list of how come you can't? Thank you, big business. Love that. Big business. Yo, y'all fucking hilarious. Not the infamous Ian. What a Ian. You guys are hilarious. Not 3D. Stop. Y'all. Y'all are crazy. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Kanani. All right. But why do you insist on arguing for your limitations? Why do you insist? Like somebody said, if you could go as hard as you do for your limitations, right? For your desires, if you could go as hard as you do, waking up and saying, oh, here I am again. You know what? What's wrong with me today? You know what I mean? Like, what do I have to do? What do I have to fix? What's wrong with my 3D? What's wrong with my SP? What's wrong with my money? Why am I still so limited? Look, that's like affirmations in the opposite direction. Why am I so limited? Why isn't this working for me? Meh, meh, meh. And the affirmation is making your brain say, ooh, here's a bill you forgot about. That's why. Ooh, let's pick another one. She says, why don't things work out for her? Let's pick this one. Because you never get what you want. How's that? Yeah. And then you're looking to that to give you something else. You're asking the question, why don't things ever go my way? Like the brain's going to be like, ooh, let's show her something that says it's going her way. Actually, no. You're just getting proven right. Something that I struggled with, or I was believing that I struggled with, was overthinking, which is it's a little not so good for a manifester. Right? When you can't control your thoughts, that's not so good for a manifester. But I realized at that moment, I was like, is that true? Am I an overthinker? Or is that a story that I've been telling myself that I'm an overthinker? And the being that is being me has never overthought shit. The being that is being me is only peace and clarity. That's it. Anything else is the illusion. Okay? Thank you, Kanani. Anything else is the illusion. So is that true? Whatever it is, you guys, whatever it is that you're like, oh, but me, I have insert limitation here. I have this. Oh, but you know, reality is like that for me. Life's like this for me. And I've always been like that. Okay, yeah, in one reality. In one reality. And you don't have to continue to come into agreement with that. And I had instant peace, you guys. Instant peace. It's instant. Now, just to tie this back up, right? Just to tie this back up, had I sat there in my overthinking as I was, right? As I was, and deducting from my experience in the 3D and this illusion, right? And saying, well, I'm an overthinker. Look at my brain. It's all over the place. I can't get a hold on it. If I was to deduct from 3D and stay in the validation loop of what I'm seeing and decide that this is who I am, I would still be overthinking. But in that moment, I came into presence and became aware of what the story is. Oh, the avatar thinks that she overthinks. The avatar feels stuck in the state of overthinking. But who am I, actually? Who am I? I'm infinite. I'm eternal. I'm whatever I say that I am, y'all, period. Like, that's the whole video in a sentence. You are what you say that you are. That's it. Stop waiting on something to tell you to say something else. Just say something else. Okay? If a fool would persist in his folly, he would become wise. So there is no delusion. All right? All right. I'm intending it prospers you immensely, and I'm absolutely sure that it has. I want to read these affirmations that Summer put down here, and then I'm going to slide. Okay. 1, and just repeat after me. Repeat after Summer. 1, my power is unlimited. Make that a proclamation, not an affirmation. Affirmations are bullshit, to be honest. Repeating a story in the state of I don't have what I want is bullshit. And actually, it's not necessarily bullshit, but you guys that are here, you're past that, okay? Make your affirmation a proclamation. This is true now. It's not a sentence that I'm saying to make be true. It's true now. All right? My power is unlimited. That's true now. What if it was? Feel that. I do not need to worry, too. I do not need to worry. Why would you worry if it was already done for you? I don't need to worry. 3, I'm stepping out of fear. I'm stepping out of fear. Proclaim that. Don't affirm it. Claim as your powerful self that is choosing their now moment. I'm stepping out of fear. And I'm taking back control of my own story. I'm taking back control of my own story. I'm not letting 3D tell me what the story is. I'm not letting the past tell me what the story is. I'm not letting my negative thoughts tell me what the story is. I no longer believe the old story, old belief. I no longer believe that. I no longer believe that I'm an overthinker. I no longer believe that I don't have what I want. I no longer believe that manifestation doesn't work for me. I no longer believe that I'm not good enough to receive what I want. My success is inevitable. Thanos snap. Inevitable. Can't be stopped. Proclaim. Don't affirm, proclaim. And I have what I want. She says, add manifestation. And so it is. You have what you want. Okay? Yes. All right, you guys. I love you all infinitely. I'm intending this prospers you immensely. I'm absolutely sure that it has. I'm about to go to class. I'm super excited. Gizem, what's up, dude? It's been forever. But yeah, I love you guys. Thank you, Summer, for those beautiful affirmations. Thank you for sharing them. Thank you to all my mods for always being so incredible and amazing. I love you guys so much. Thank you all for just giving me so much life, you guys. You guys are my favorite people to talk to. And I love you guys. And I know that this prospered you, okay? Remember who you are and be like it.